Ka Ishu Dewiong ka Khluit tar ha kasi ka ba ar jong ka Dorbar Senrai ka Iing Dorbar Thoain ka jela ka balong ha ka ni ka si NYNGKONG. Ka jingyatai halo ka te ka phang ka la shongshit bha namar ka ne hadu jankut kenta kli jingkli. Ka ba pen shongshit ya kamat yatai ka de hadin bo mitrang ba ula keno kala yak sarkar barim ha bai de bat kalai pu arlak taun udo yong.
Sir, in compliance of the Mines and Mineral Development Regulation Act 1957 and the Mineral Concession Rules 1960, and as per procedures laid down to obtain prospecting license and mining lease for coal mining in the state, applications are being processed for authorizing landowners to grant prospecting license. To D, no sir. E does not arise, sir, does not arise.
Mr. Speaker, sir, may I know from the Honorable Chief Minister, the Supreme Court order in July 2019 has bucketed the ban on coal mining in the state, provided mining is carried out as per the approved mining plan according to relevant act and rules. If mining has not been carried out, then there is a loss of revenue for the state. As such, the reply to E cannot be, does not arise, sir.
So the question is not very specific. So, but nonetheless, sir, it's a very broad topic. So therefore, I will try to reply to the queries that have been given. So as the Honourable Member has mentioned, that in 2019, the Supreme Court, July 2019, the Supreme Court had lifted the ban and had allowed coal mining in Meghalaya subject to the adherence under provisions of the MMDR Act, the Environmental Protection Act, and the Mines Act 1952. Sir, post that, there have been a long procedure that is involved in actually going for the mining lease. So as I have mentioned in my reply to part C, that all these mining leases applications, whichever have come in, are under process, some of them, and therefore till date the process is not complete. And only once the process is over, then they will be getting the mining lease and the mining can continue, can restart, sir. Now, the reason, sir, why these issues are there is because the mining application process itself requires a number of steps to be conducted. First aspect, sir, is that the mining and the prospecting license, the application that is given by the landowner after they get the application form from the website, along with the land patta, this has to be submitted to the mining department. After the mining department receives these applications, it is sent to the Ministry of Coal, Government of India. And then Government of India, the Ministry of Coal, will give the permission for the prospecting license. Based on that, the landowner then will have to have an agreement with the lessee of the land, and then after that, and they have to engage certain companies to actually conduct exploration, geological report, and the mining plan. Once these are done, these reports are submitted and the mining plan is ready, then further the state government has to then send this report back to the Ministry of Coal for approval. Post that, the landowners will come for permission and then the granting of the license will be done to the lessee in that case. Once the lessee receives this signs a lease agreement with the landowner, they have to further then obtain environmental clearance, which is given by the State Environment Impact Assessment Authority. And once that is done, then they have to get a consent to establish from the State Pollution Board. After that is done, approval for the mining plan has to be done by the concerned departments of mining department, and then only the plan is approved. And then once that is done, the coal controller organization for mines opening, which is in Kolkata, has to give permission, and then the Director General for Mines and Safety will have to give the permission for the opening. Therefore, sir, the reason I gave this exhaustive answer and reply is that it is a process that is there. It requires detailed assessment, steps to be followed, and once the steps are followed, only then the license is given. Coming to the point of the honorable member, he had asked the question stating that that how does it that it does not arise. The reason is that because no mining lease has been given, because of this detailed procedure that is required, and that's the reason why the answer to E says does not arise.
Sir, then in view of the lengthy process of obtaining the mining lease and the mining approval, definitely there is a loss in the revenue of the state. Anyway, I'll go to my second query, sir. So, as per the Supreme Court order, Commissioner Secretary to the Government of Meghalaya, Mining and Geology Department, in his action taken report submitted on 13/11/2018, stated that the availability of 176,655 metric tons of already inventorized coal for transportation, which has also been reflected in the order dated 4/12/2018 passed by the Honorable Supreme Court. Further, Commissioner Secretary in the said action taken report has also stated that 23,25,663.54 metric ton of coal other than those inventorized coal remain uninventorized and available for transportation. The district-wise breakup is East Giant Hills, I'm talking about the assessed quantity only, 13,22,379 metric ton. West Khasi Hills District, 7,78,297.99 metric ton. Southwest Khasi Hills District, 2,14,145.55 metric ton. South Garo Hills District, 10,841 metric ton. So together it is 23,25,663.54 metric ton. But then again, sir, in a period of 4 months, Commissioner Secretary Mining and Geology Department, in his additional affidavit dated 6/4/2019, stated that a technical committee constituted to perform the verification of the assessment made by the deputy commissioners of respective district, stated that in their assessment, extracted coal stocks in about 4 districts is 715 metric tons. May I know from the Honorable Chief Minister, if there is an increase of 23 lakh to 32 lakh within a period of 4 months, whether mining of coal was ongoing despite the NGT ban on coal mining?
Sir, a lot of information and data. I could not get all the information that the honorable member has been mentioning. And anyway, the primary question does stick to the mining licenses that have been given. But he has gone beyond the subject or the purview of the question in one sense. But nonetheless, the point here being that initially when the assessment was done during 2015, that time there was almost close to 1 lakh So I don't have the exact numbers with me because it's a different question. But there was 1.3 crore, 1.3 crore metric tons approximately was, so 1.3 crores approximately was declared at that point in time in 2015. Post that, when the assessment was done by the committee that was set up by NGT of the state, they had assessed 95 lakhs. Now, when that happened, 95 lakh metric tons. When that happened, then after that, there was a demand, or in fact, when this 95 lakh metric tons was transported, then the coal miners themselves had approached government of Meghalaya and asked us to look into the assessment that was done or the declaration that was done earlier. Based on that, even the Supreme Court then later on asked us to assess all these aspects. When the assessment was done, based on Supreme Court's order, 32 lakh metric ton was declared, and this was further then approved by the Supreme Court itself, and that's the reason why today 32 lakh metric tons is being assessed, or is being now in the process of being auctioned by the government of Meghalaya, sir.
I'm going by the Supreme Court order only, which I have here with me. I'll just make it very simple. On 13/11/2018, the Commissioner Secretary in his action taken report stated that there were 23,25,663.54 metric ton of coal which are yet to be inventorized. And then after 4 months, that is on 6/4/2019, the same Commissioner Secretary stated that there is 32,56,715 metric tons of coal. My questions are, within the period of 4 months, from 23,25,663 has gone to 32,56,715. So my question was there ongoing coal mining within this 4-month period that raised the quantity of coal in stock from 23 lakh to 32 lakh? That was my question, sir.
So the basic point is, again I'm repeating myself, that there was 1.35 crore metric tons that were initially declared. After that, the assessment was made for 95 lakh metric ton. So there was already a gap of about 40,000 which was declared but not assessed. When the initial point came in, when the Supreme Court asked for the assessments and assessment was being made, they were able to assess only 23 out of the 40 that was there. So therefore, once again, when the details and the applications came in and people applied to Government of India, Government of Meghalaya, asking for assessment of that, so reassessment was done based on again Supreme Court's order, and that is when the 32 lakh metric ton came. So it was already declared in 2015 itself, sir.
Sir, as per a Supreme Court order, coal extracted and lying in the open after 15th of May 2016 does not automatically vest the state of Meghalaya, and owner of the coal or the person who has mined the coal shall have the proprietary right in the mineral which shall not be lost, and therefore directed Coal India Limited to take over the coal and dispose of the same as per its normal method of disposal and proceeds. May I know from the Honorable Chief Minister, has this exercise been completed? If so, how much the state earned as part of royalty and MERP fund?
Sir, the process for the Coal India auction for the 32 lakh metric ton, this was after the NGT had, Supreme Court, had directed the Government of India, Government of Meghalaya, to auction these coal that is there through the Coal India Limited. So just to give you a slight background so that we understand where we're coming from, that when Supreme Court had initially given this permission on 3rd of July, within 1 week's time, the government of Meghalaya and the Coal India had a detailed discussion on how to move forward. On 7th of September 2019, we submitted a plan along with the Coal India to the NGT on how we should move forward. But we did not get approval and the NGT asked for changes to be made. Hence, we made modifications. And after the modifications were made, there was again a meeting with the NGT committee on the 14th of November, but no decision was taken on then. And then once again on 2nd of December 2019, where again no decision was made. There were a lot of deliberations, but as I said, no decision was taken. After that, the NGT committee chairman at that point in time resigned from his post, and a new person, a new chairman, was appointed on the 17th of January 2020. When this new chairman was appointed, on 14th of February 2020, the first meeting of this new committee, this committee headed by the new chairman, took place. And then finally, the plan was approved on the 12th of March 2020. After this plan was approved, there were certain changes within the Coal India also. The chairman retired and certain officials were changed. And then based on that, again, the Coal India reviewed the plan and again asked for changes to be made. So we again deliberated with Coal India after, in spite of changing and making changes and submitting to NGT committee and getting the clearance, again it had to be changed because Coal India desired it to be changed. We made the modifications and we submitted the report again to the NGT. And in the month of July, finally on the 27th of July, the order 2020, the order came out by the government, by the NGT committee to allow the government to transport the coal from the mines to the depot. At the same time, the plan was again further modified on the 27th of 2020 because the NGT committee required or made it mandatory for the government or its machinery to transport the coal from the mines to the depot. So we had to once again make changes in the entire procedure and make provisions for the transportation of the mines, coals from the mine to the depot, which had to be done by government, which government has never done before. And based on that, we came out with tender at a central level, for which we did not get any response. Further then, we had to go for a tender at the district level. And when that happened, the district level, we got some response from some transporters who were agreeable to transport the mines, the coals from the mines to the depot. So therefore, the new process now requires us to look at the Supreme Court, the NGT and the NGT committee, all three. This also requires us to put a new depot in different locations. Apart from the transportation that has to be done by the government, we need to put up a new depot also. These new depots must have facilities of weighbridge, office buildings, security barracks, fencing, electricity, canal. Apart from that, we also then have to go for an online portal which has to be put up by Metal and Scrap Trading Corporation, MSTC. And then the people will further apply for the auctioning through the MSTC. Now this requires, as I said, the state and the CIL to have manpower in the depots once they created. The coal miners then have to go for testing of their coal for the gross calorific value of the coal. And then after that, proceeding, after they get the report, they will submit the report to the DC. And then the DC will transport the coal to the depots. Then the coal has to be stocked in different grades and lots. And then they will be put on for online auctioning by the MSTC. Bidders will register online for the portal. Auction dates will be done 14 days post the issuance of the notice, and obviously the highest bidder will get the coal. Now, the reasons that I went through this entire process is it's important to understand that it is a very exhaustive process. One has to appreciate this has never been done before, and we have tried our very best to make sure that we come and be able to do this at the earliest. Now, having said that, sir, as of now, the online portal has been launched. As of now, the depots are ready, 5 of them in the 4 districts where the transportation has to take place. 5 depots are ready, 2 in East Jenti Hills, 1 in West Khasi Hills, and 1 in South Garo Hills, and 1 in Southwest Khasi Hills. The transporters have already been engaged. CIL has deputed their manpower in all the depots, and transportation in one of the districts, at least East Jenti Hills, is going on as we speak, and the process for the other districts will also start very, very soon. So therefore, this is the process that is following, sir. So immediately right now, because of all these challenges we faced, we were not able to do the auctioning till now. I've explained all the reasons why, but we are now very close to it, and we have been able to comply to the needs and requirements of the NGT, the Supreme Court, and the NGT committee. And as I said, now the transportation from the mines to the depots, at least in one district, have started, and it will start in other districts also very soon.
May I know from the Honorable Chief Minister if state government has encountered any case of illegal transportation of coal? If so, how does the state deal with such cases?
Sir, again, it's a very exhaustive question, and I do request you to kindly give me the time to clarify, because this is the right forum to clarify all the points. Sir, the incidence of illegal mining in the state and transportation is a situation we are facing for a very, very long time. Let me be very clear about that, sir. In 2014, 203 cases were filed. In 2015, 541 cases. In 2016, 117 cases. In 2017, 274 cases. We have been facing a lot, and just to tell you, sir, as of now, in these, and since 2018, 400 cases have been filed against illegal mining or illegal transportation that's taking place. So we can see that almost 2,000 cases have been filed in the past 5 years regarding this entire situation. So what has the government done? So let me just again go through a few of the details, sir. Number one, sir, we have implemented the provisions of the MMDR Act, Section 21(4), in the entire process. Why this is important, sir, I have to explain this a bit. Before we invoked or put into the Section 21(4), the only provisions that were there was the CRPC Act. So under the CRPC Act, there would just be very minor provisions where there would be individuals that may just happen to be caught, and small fines would be put in. But then when we invoked para Section 21(4) of the MMDR Act, which was done when we took over the government, this will ensure that if anybody is caught in illegal mining or transportation, will be jailed for a period of 5 years maximum, and will be fined 5 lakh rupees. Now, this provision was not invoked earlier, sir. So therefore, the provisions that were there was under CRPC Act, which was very minor. So there was not a lot of deterrent to doing illegal activity. But once the MMDR Act, para 21(4) was invoked, it has really made things much more difficult. And as I said, there is imprisonment up to 5 years also. Number two, we have started joint patrolling teams from the transport, police, and mining department in different locations. This is to ensure that there is a coordinated effort by the administration and by the government to make sure that there is no such activity that's taking place. Number three, we have created a centralized helpline number 180034538846, where complaints can be given by individuals for any kind of illegal transportation or any kind of illegal mining activities if they find. Number 4, we have also put a cash reward of 5,000 rupees for anybody who gives us information.
Sir, point of order. It is election, it is question hour, sir. And I think as per the provision of the rule, only one supplementary is allowed in at one time.
5 supplementary?
No, five.
So the honorable questioner was asking whether illegal transportation is going or not.
He asked
that may be replied. Such a long lecture, exhaustive reply, we don't need.
Sir, I am
let
replying.
it be specific, sir,
Please,
because
okay.
there are lots of important questions behind this.
Sir, the honorable member has asked me what steps have been taken.
Yeah.
I have to reply, sir. I'm sticking to the basic reply. I have to give the reply of the different steps being taken. Very simple. So I think I request, sir, if the honorable member does not interfere. Sir, the fourth part is that we have put up cash rewards. Number 5, sir, we have laid down the procedures to recover any kind of illegal usage of coal that has been done. Now, this is under section 21, para 5 of the MMDR Act, where this is again strengthening the entire regulation that even if the coal has been transported and sold, there is a provision for the government to recover the money for any kind of illegal coal that has been used. So therefore, this is again a very strong provision in the Act that was there, which was never used, and we ensure that this is coming. So this is another big deterrent for any kind of illegal coal work. Number 6, we have introduced high security challans that are there, sir. Now these challans were never there before. Earlier, if you looked at the challans, they were just simply printed on a piece of paper and a very simple challan. But the new ones that we have introduced have got number 1, fugitive ink. This ink is a very, very high level ink and high security ink. It cannot be replicated. Number 2, we have put holograms in the challans. Number 3, we have put QR code in the challans. And number 4, we are using Mapley Hop paper, which is again a matte kind of a paper, very, very difficult to replicate, sir. So this is how we have introduced these high security challans. Number 6, we have police joint mobile patrolling systems that are going on, and they keep moving from location to location. District task forces have been put up, and now we are going for a project where smart and integrated check gates will be put up in different locations, and this is high technology integrated check gates which will have different kind of technology provisions which will ensure that all these aspects are double checked. So technology will be very important. And then there's a monitoring team, a high level team that has been set up at the chief secretary's level, and the members are the additional chief secretary, the DG and the commissioner secretary for mining are a part of this high level committee which meets every month to look into all these aspects that I have mentioned to you just now, the provisions and the different kind of points that we have taken. So this is the kind of activity that has been done, sir, and there is much more I have, but I think the honorable members are not very happy with my long answers, so I'll just stick to these 7-8 points, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, at the first instance, I was just listening to the reply of the Honorable Chief Minister in his reaction. On the supplementary questions put by the Honorable questioner, he was stating that this call of 32 lakhs metric ton, which is declared by the government as inventory before the Supreme Court, is not relevant to the principal question. How can it be relevant at the first instance? Because this kind of information is very much relevant to with the principal questions, and these kind of information are expected to be available with the Honorable Chief Minister. So it is just like striking off the responsibility. Now my question is, I would like to know from the Honorable Chief Minister whether the 32 lakhs metric ton of coal as indicated as inventory before the Supreme Court is there practically or not. If it is there practically, what kind of steps being taken to auctioneers at the earliest?
Sir, just to again reply to the first part of what Honorable Member has just mentioned.
Honorable CM, let's make it brief.
So I will try to, sir. But questions are very broad, sir. I cannot help it, sir. I'm trying my best. So the first part is that why it's not relevant to this
No,
question.
my
Please,
question.
let me
Let me be
please sit down.
specific. Let me be specific.
Please sit down.
Before you
Please sit down.
intending to go long speech, I would like to specify, I am the questioner.
Yeah, I'm replying to
And
you.
I am questioning not
Please
on
relax.
behalf of myself only, on behalf of
I know.
the Honorable, this August
Yeah,
House,
okay.
entire August House.
So we're wasting more time, sir.
Yeah.
Please relax. So number one, as I said, the 32 lakh metric ton is not relevant to the question. Why? Because the question talks about new mining leases. Yes, it is attached to coal, but the question is very much to do with mining lease, and that is the reason I said it, but yet I answered the question because I have the information with me. Number one, sir. Number two, I've forgotten what he has asked, sir. The second question, which is, you had said, coal auctioning for 32 lakh. So the coal auctioning that we have mentioned about the 32 lakh metric ton. So this, in fact, again, sir, I have to give you the background because sir, it's not so simple. Otherwise, you will not get the full picture of things. So the point is that in the year on 19th June 2014, on 9th June 2014, the committee was set up to declare and assess this particular coal that was there. I had replied in my first the supplementary that at that time 1.4 crores was declared by the people and the coal miners. But when the next committee that was part of
Mr.
this,
Speaker, sir.
sir, the member cannot keep disturbing me, sir.
Just
This
to
is not
correct his
correct.
reply, he's contradicting the reply, his own reply only. As the first said,
Sir,
he said 1.3 crore. Now he is saying 1.4 crore, which is to be accepted. He is contradicting his reply.
Okay, can you just clarify?
We can see from the record, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
Initially he said 1.3 crore metric ton. Now he is saying 1.4 crore. He is chief minister.
So these are minute areas which I'll clarify. But the whole idea is to get the whole picture that it was 1 point.
I'm
as I
talking
said-
about the contradicting.
Yeah, okay, fine.
entity.
Fine. So 1.3 crores was there. And 95 lakhs was what was ultimately.
Then that
assessed.
1.4 crore mention is mistaken.
So why is he disturbing all the time, sir? If he wants, I don't know whether he wants a reply or he just
Number
wants
is
to
very
disturb.
important, sir.
Sir, it is, as I said, the coal was 1.3 crore plus, and at the same time, it was 94 plus, that means almost 95 lakhs, was assessed by the government. And then beyond that, so therefore, this amount of the amount that he is asking whether it's there or not. So this amount was declared that time in 2015 only. So it's not something that we have created now. So from 2014-15, when Honorable Member also was a minister in the government, that is when this particular coal already was declared. So therefore, if he is questioning whether this coal is there or not, he should have questioned it that time, sir, when he was in the government. This was done back in 2014-15. So therefore, I think it's...
Speaker, sir.
Sir, he's again
Mr.
disturbing,
Speaker,
sir.
sir.
Sir, does he want to
Why
reply or
does
no?
Honorable Chief Minister is...
Sir, this is not correct. This is not done, sir.
I am asking about the...
I did not
of
disturb
his
him when
government.
he is asking
Putting
questions.
before this
He should not
before
disturb
this
when I am
government.
replying.
Yes.
At 32 lakhs.
Please, you are a
Not
senior member.
1.3
Understand how you should
1.34
deal
lakh.
with the
I request
situation.
both.
Sir, this is not done,
I am
sir.
asking about the 30
You cannot disturb. You cannot disturb, sir.
This government has
Yes.
declared as inventory before the Supreme Court on the 3rd July. Specific question.
So I am replying to that.
Yeah, yes.
That there's a history
This
behind
is a
it.
question hour, so I think the question should be, in the form of reply. If it can be specific and...
I am
brief
being
and,
being specific because there's a history to this 32 lakh metric ton. It's not something that we took out now. That's what I'm trying to tell the House up through you and to the Honorable Member. He's not allowing me to reply. I think maybe he's himself realizing that he made a mistake about the whole thing. But the point is, see again he's disturbing, sir. So again he's disturbing. Sir, Sir, please ask the honorable member not to disturb, sir. I am replying. I don't disturb him when he's asking questions.
Sir, to be specific, I don't want the history, I don't want the breakdown. I am asking about the 32 lakh metric ton of coal which has been declared before the Supreme Court as inventory on the 3rd July. Specific to that question only.
What do you want for that?
Sir, therefore, sir,
Whether
What do you
this
want from
32
that?
lakh metric ton coal is practically available across the state or not.
Okay, so just be specific on this.
Specific.
sir, I have to give the background to be specific.
Okay.
No background is required. No background. This is
Sir,
question.
he is
hour.
trying to run away
Which
from
now?
his own responsibility. If please ask him not to disturb, sir, number one. He should be mature. He's a senior member of the House. He should know how to behave in the House, sir. Number one, sir, the reason why I have to tell the history is I am trying to tell everybody that this 32 lakh metric ton is not created by us. It is in 2015 during their time. It was already there. That's my point. So why are you blaming us? Why are you blaming us? You took out this 32 metric ton at that time. So it's not our creation. Now when the miners came to us and they appealed to us that this 32 lakh metric ton be taken up, we appealed to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court then asked us to assess. We made the assessment and the 32 lakh metric ton has been approved by the Supreme Court, and based on that, now through the Coal India, we are going to go ahead with this. Now, if an honorable member is questioning this, that means he's questioning the Honorable Supreme Court's judgment. The Supreme Court has given us direction to transport this. Supreme Court has given us, so that means he is questioning the authority of the Supreme Court, which is very incorrect, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I am not questioning the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court. I am simply asking on behalf of the people of the state. The people wants to know whether this 32 lakhs metric ton declared before the Supreme Court as inventory by this present government on the 3rd July is practically present or not. Just yes or no.
Sir, I cannot give a yes or no just directly.
Why?
Because I have to give the history of it. That
You
is
are not
why,
history.
sir, again he's disturbing, sir. Ask him to be mature, sir, grow up. What is
Just
this?
beating around the bush.
Sir, now you understand the history, sir. The point of why I had to say this, because number one, that this creation is not ours. This was created in 2014. It's important to understand. It's important to understand. So you are trying to say that whether it's there or not, you're just jumping to the conclusion. Understand the background. In 2014, when this particular declaration was done, why did you not question it that time? Why did you not find out that time? Why are you now asking about it? Why didn't you do it that time?
I was not in
That's my
opposition
first
that time.
point.
It was your duty.
So therefore you admit that during that time it was there, and that's why you filed the report. That's my whole point, sir. I didn't create it. We didn't create it. You created this stock. You created it. And if you had so much doubt, why did you allow it that time? Is my question. So that's why history is important. Number two, against the disturbing.
During our time, but my question is whether it is practically there or not. Whether it does exist or not. That is the question. Simple.
So
as
therefore,
as simple as that.
sir, let the honorable member let me reply, sir. I don't know. He's getting very frustrated. It looks like that. But anyway,
No frustration. No
So,
frustration.
see, again, sir, he's not allowing me to reply.
I just want to know.
So can I
Okay,
reply?
Mr. Speaker, sir.
So can I reply, sir?
Since
Yeah.
the Honorable Chief Minister is just beating around the bush, not coming to the point, let me ask another question.
No, sir. Let me reply. I'm happy to reply. He's not allowing me.
I'm listening.
Sir, allow me. So please
Sir.
relax.
But
Sir, allow me to
let him
let me
finish.
finish.
Let the Honorable Chief Minister
Exactly.
finish his complete.
Exactly, sir. That's all. Please listen to the whole reply. Please. So, sir, therefore, this was created and put up. Number two, sir, after the assessment was done by the committees that the Honorable Supreme Court had asked us to put up, then we submitted this thing to the Supreme Court and Supreme Court allowed. My point being, sir, if all the officers from the different departments in the government, not different, individuals, but officers of the government of India putting up, submitting to the NGT, then the NGT and the government submitting Supreme Court accepting it, do you think it can be done without the coal actually being there, sir? So therefore the answer to his question is yes, absolutely. They are in the mines. They are there, the coal, and that is the reason why Supreme Court has allowed this transportation. And today him questioning this, that whether it's there or not, is questioning himself, his government, questioning the officers, and questioning the Supreme Court, sir. That is the whole point of my answer.
Okay, I'll call Bapiti Sokumia, please. Yeah, Bapiti Sokumia, please. No, I think we have spent enough time in this thing, members. Let us give the chance to other members also. They would like also to raise it.
Sir, I want to stick to the principal question. So, principal question, if we go through of all this principal question, this detail regarding with illegal coal transmission, others will not come if we stick with the original principal question. So, I will go to number 3, sir. So, the application are being processed for the authorization, the land owners to grant prospecting license. So, I understand that there's so many departments involved regarding how to grant of this license. So, I know from Honorable Chief Minister, if it is any committee for the granting of license, because I've already mentioned regarding because we have many departments, like pollution department, forest environment department, land owners. But I would like to ask Honorable Chief Minister, what is the role of the District Council here? Because the landowners have to take into confidence for granting of license. Then what about the role of the District Council? That is my question, sir.
So basically, the provisions that are there that are laid down in the MMDR Act and the Mining Safety Act, and the third one was the Environment Protection Act. So therefore, we have to follow these particular 3 provisions that are there. In the Supreme Court ruling, there is no specific mention of the council, district council, but obviously all the local aspects of permissions that are normally required for any kind of project or proposal to go ahead by the district council, I think those provisions will stand. But as per the orders of the Supreme Court, it's specific to 3 main areas, which is, as I said, the land, the forest. So I just mentioned those 3 points. So that's what it is, sir. District council's laws, as per the thing, will prevail, sir.
Sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I have seen lots of dramas in this house during my time. It seems like whenever whoever sits in the cabinet chair, it seems like they get enchanted. They forget what they need to do. But when you are out of chair, you see all the illegalities vividly, clearly. It's like that.
So, come to the supplementary question,
Sir,
please.
my question is that I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister for bringing up the stringent law or steps. I am very much happy, and then I think I have to start hunting for illegal coal-laden trucks. Now, I would like to know from the Honorable Chief Minister, when he was answering, he has mentioned about the 5,000 reward for the illegal trucks. Whether that 5,000 illegal trucks is only for one truck or for many truck. If it is for one truck, I'll start hunting from tomorrow, I think so. Because it will give me lots of income, you know. So I would like to know whether that 5,000 is only for one truck, or if I get 100 trucks, you know, it will be divided. So I mean, it will be, multiplied. So I want to know whether that 5,000 is for one truck or for the whole truck. I don't know.
Maybe for 1 ton.
Sir, the reward is for the information that is given to us. So every time the information is given, that's when it's. So you can give information 10 times, so maybe that will be fine also.
No, Mr. Speaker, sir.
It's for that. So on a serious note, it's for the information that is given. So every time an information comes to us, the particular reward is given.
For information.
By George Slingdon, please.
No, Mr. Speaker, sir,
Sir, I have given one member one something. Please.
Honorable Speaker,
Yes.
sir.
Doing too much on this.
The reply to start question 1D says, no, sir. The carrying out of coal mining operation has not been started in the state. That is the reply of the government. That no coal mining operations have yet been started. In the duration of the reply of the Honorable CM, it is also being told to the House that the 32 lakh metric ton is still in the process of being auctioned. Now, sir, I just want to know a simple reply as to these trucks that are carrying coal now. From where is this coal coming? Neither the auction coal is being transported, nor new one is being mined. So from where this coal is coming, sir?
Sir, again, I need to give the history, sir. I'm so sorry.
Just make it brief.
I'll try to make it
I
as
would like
brief
to
as
go to the
possible.
next
I know,
question.
sir. I know, sir.
Yeah, it'll be unfair for me to.
Sir, I understand, sir, but it's an important subject, so that's the reason, sir.
That's why I've given enough chance to.
Sir. So the MMDR Act 21, Section 21(4) states that whenever any person raises transport or causes to be raised or transported without any lawful, any mineral from a land, all purposes, use, vehicle, other things, shall be liable to be seized by an officer or authority specially empowered in his behalf. Any mineral, tool, vehicle, or any other thing seized under subsection 4 shall be liable to be confiscated by an order of the court competent to take cognizance of the offence under subsection 1 and shall be disposed of in accordance with the direction of such court. So the reason I have to say this is because there is a provision in the MMDR Act that allows the government to seize any kind of illegal or unclaimed coal or any kind of mineral that is there. Based on this provision of section 21(4) of the MMDR Act, different complaints had come to us regarding different kind of coals that have been lying unclaimed. Now, I can go into the detail of the whole thing, sir, but just to give a short reply to this, because everybody wanted a short reply, that there have been more than 5-6 instances where such unclaimed coal had been seized by the government, based on this provision of the MMDR Act. And based on this provision of the MMDR Act, on the 13th of March 2019, we have come out with the proper provisions and a notification on how the procedure for seizing this should be done. Now, if you would like me to go to the procedure, I can go, sir. But just to give you a rough idea, that once a complaint is done, then the respective DCs, ADCs, DMOs, they go and check the location. They give a report whether such coal exists or not. They actually then assess that particular coal and submit it, to the government for further, to the court, I'm sorry, not government, to the court, to the Chief Judicial Magistrate, to assess and to find out. And then based on that, the particular Chief Judicial Magistrate will then direct the particular Deputy Commissioner to auction that particular seized coal. It is the challans and the proceedings process from this seized coal, which, as I said, has happened in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instances that these challans have come out, and that is what is